Hello everybody, Rakimdar here. Welcome back to my Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links Beginner's Guide series. In this video, we will be doing the Duel Links Beginner's Guide to the Card Trader. Now, the Card Trader is a part of the game that you unlock upon reaching Stage 7 in the missions. The missions are the thing in the top left that you've probably been working for this entire time. They're just kind of goals and, objectives for you to complete for certain rewards. When you complete all of them, you get to level up the stage to the next stage. Now, upon reaching stage 7, the card trader will unlock, and you will be able to jump into this feature of the game. The card trader will appear here on the shop tab, right in front of the card store. Now, the card trader is pretty much self-explanatory. He trades cards. He will have a plethora of cards for you to look at and try to pick out, and basically trade for cards. Now, the big idea here is that there will be different resources that you need to use in order to obtain these cards. Now, at face value, pretty much the general resource that all of them use is the gold that you see up here with your gems. You've probably accumulated a decent bit of this as you upgraded the missions and collected some rewards from dueling, but you might not have as much as I do since I've been playing for quite a while. Now, the normal cards in the card trader do only require the gold, and so these are pretty much just some generic cards. Not too many of them are super amazing, but there are a few pretty decent ones that you can maybe pick up. Now, once you start looking at the rare cards and higher, there's a couple new resources that you will have to pay attention to. This will be the gems down here at the bottom, the attribute gem, and the rarity gem. Now, the attribute gem is the gem that corresponds to the card attribute. So, for example, this is an earth card, so you'll need earth gems. This is a light card, you'll need light gems, and then trap cards need trap gems, etc., etc. Pretty self-explanatory. Now, the rare gems are basically, the rarity gems are just what they are. These are the gems based off of the card's rarity. As you can see here, they start off at rare, go to super rare, and there are ultra rare cards as well. The card trader has not stocked any for me, unfortunately. So, in general, the rare cards and below are pretty easy to obtain in terms of resources. As you can kind of see down here, I have a ton of rare gems and a ton of trap gems. Similarly with the fire and whatnot, I've never really found too much of an issue trying to collect these. You're gonna collect quite a lot, and I'm pretty sure you'll be fine picking them up as you play the game and working your way towards future missions. Now, the struggle does kind of get a bit hard once you start trying to find super rare cards that you want for your decks. And the super rare gems, as you can see, I don't have nearly as many. They are a lot harder to obtain, and then the ultra rares are obviously harder than that. So, in general, if you're not going for a specific deck that uses a specific card from the card trader, I would probably say not to worry too much about it. The card trader doesn't carry too many variety cards that are just able to go into any deck that you want. Most of them are pretty deck specific. For example, the Arrowmage Jasmine here really only gets used in Arrowmage decks. Rose Lover is kind of an exception, as she can be used in a variety of plant decks to special summon plants, but other than that, you're not going to be playing her. Blazewing Butterfly, he's a Gemini monster for Gemini decks. You're not going to put him in any other deck. And so most of the cards are kind of like that. Card Trader is actually one of the few exceptions in which you would put this in pretty much any deck that you would want, as he lets you redraw cards to try and get something that you would be able to play. But he is a pretty slow card and doesn't really give you too much card advantage. So the card trader card itself is actually not super amazing, but it is a good example of a variety card that can be placed in almost any deck. But as you can see, that's the only one here, and outside of him, you're probably just going to want to pick up a card that goes straight for your deck. A good example is an ultra rare card called Delta the Magnet Warrior. If you're building a magnet deck, go for it. Go straight for it. But if you see it in here and you're not building a magnet deck, it's probably not worth your effort to, farm up the stuff in order to pick them up. So don't be too worried about trying to kind of get every single card that he has to offer. As you can see, I'm still missing copies of some of these simply because I'm not interested in building decks with them. So that's kind of my little advice there. The rares are the exception. You can pretty much get any rare that you want. They're usually pretty cheap anyway, and you never know when you're going to want to build a deck with some of the rare cards and whatnot. Now, the downside to the card trader is that he does restock every 7 hours, or every 8 hours, I apologize. And you can only pick up one copy of each card per 8 hours. And so if you're trying to get, for example, the 3 copies of Rose Lover that I have, you have to pick up a single copy and then wait for 8 hours, sometimes even 16 hours for the card trader to restock and put Rose Lover in. And for the next 8 hours, he might not put Rose Lover in, so you kind of have to wait it out. The card trader can be very unforgiving at times and doesn't often want to put the cards you want in there. So as you can see, I'll go ahead and trade for Magic Reflector. Target one face-up spell card, place a counter, and if it would be destroyed, move the counter instead. It's actually a pretty decent card, and I don't have any, so I'll go ahead and purchase it. As you can see here, as I do the purchase, once the purchase is complete, bam, sold out. I can't purchase any more Magic Reflectors. Very unfortunate that they don't let you buy a few of them at a time, but you kind of got to work with it. It's part of the game, you just got to play around it. And then the other thing that the card trader does have are colored gate keys. These are the gate keys for the legendary duelist gate that you can see out in the field, and for each duelist there's a specific color associated with that duelist. Taya and Alexis Rhodes both use blue gates, for example, and I think Joey, I know Paradox Brothers, they use green. And so if you ever find yourself needing some more gate keys, you can come in here and pick some up. Unfortunately, it's 10 keys per stock. And so as you can see, I'm sold out here. I'll go ahead and purchase the red one. It's 100 of your normal keys to purchase 10 colored keys. Not too bad. The normal ones are pretty common. So if I want to pick up this red, I'll get 10 of these red keys and bam, immediately sold out. You can't purchase any more until the 7 hours up here expires, or however long you have till new stock comes in. Very unfortunate. However, March 28th in 2018, which will be 8 or so days after this video's release, there is going to be a card trader update to help make it a little bit better. And one of the big updates is that they're going to make it possible to buy gate keys 10 times per stock instead of once. And so you could potentially pick up 100 colored keys in a single stock as opposed to just 10. Much better kind of rate of keys, much more helpful in terms of PvE content, because there is a lot of grinding that you need to do for some of those higher rarity cards that you find with the legendary duelists. Now, you may be wondering, well, how do I get all of these resources in order to buy stuff from the card trader? Well, that's pretty simple. You've probably seen some of them as you duel. The duel rewards that you see at the end of every duel, the little chests pop up and everything. You'll see some of them pop up in there. Most of them tend to be these like trap gems and attribute gems. Every now and then you'll see some of the rares, and then if you're dueling some legendary duelists, you have a higher chance of picking up some super rares and sometimes even ultra rares if you're lucky. The other and more common way to obtain some of these is to go to the card catalog for conversion. Now basically what this does is every time you have a duplicate amount of cards, it will take those cards and compact them into and convert them into resources. So you can come up here, you'll click batch convert. For example, these 7 colored fish that I have, it'll take 2 of them and convert them into resources, since you only need 3 copies in this game in order to make a decent deck. And so I will go ahead, convert by this, and then it says all normal or rare rarity cards exceeding the amount specified will be converted to golden items. And so obviously I'm going to specify 3 because I want to keep 3 copies. And then from there I will obtain other stuff. And then if you want to convert super rare and ultra rare as well, you're going to have to check these boxes. Unfortunately, I don't seem to be able to convert any, so here we go. And then convert by card name, and as you can see here, I have multiple copies of Expressroids, Cyberblader, Despair from the Dark, and as you can see, I'm going to be collecting a hefty amount of gems right here, and from this plethora of kind of too many cards that I have, this overabundance of cards that I don't need anymore. So we'll go ahead and click convert. And this will keep me down to 3 copies of every card that I own, which is what I want. I don't need more than 3 because you only need 3 copies to build a deck. Sometimes you don't even need that many. And don't be afraid to use your super rares and ultra rares. If you see that you have 4 copies of this card, for example, or 4 copies of Amazon's Willpower somehow, don't be afraid to convert those into resources, as that will be one of your primary means of getting super rare and ultra rare gems. Most of the time you'll see that whenever you're doing like an event, like for example the Cyrus event that just happened, you'll see yourself collecting a lot of cards that are duplicates, and you'll be able to put them forth into resources for the card trader. And so that's about it for the card trader. I will mention that he does have an option to upgrade your cards into glossy or prismatic, and basically what you do is you click glossy up here, you click OK, and then it'll tell you that you need a single copy of Arrowmage Jasmine, non-foil, and then a ton of resources if you want to turn it into a glossy card. And then similarly for prismatic, you're going to need a glossy copy of Arrowmage Jasmine, and just an absolute absurd amount of resources. I'm not too big on this. I don't recommend really ever doing this unless you just have a ton of resources you don't need because you've been playing the game for a while. But you know, you're only going to need this. This is just for some, I don't know, if you care about the way the card looks. But as you saw down there, it took a lot of resources. I wouldn't recommend it at all. But other than that, that's pretty much all there is for the card trader. Pretty simple stuff. Really nice kind of feature here for the game, since most of this stuff, you know, it's all free to play. You don't have to rely on any sort of RNG in order to get the cards that you want. The Arrowmage deck, if you're interested, is all card trader cards. Arrowmage Jasmine, Arrowmage Bergamon, and Arrowmage Rosemary. They're all here in the card trader, as well as Rose Lover herself. So if you're building an Arrowmage deck, you don't need to put any gems towards boxes. You just need to get the cards from the card trader. That's one of the really decent free-to-play decks that are out there, since it's all card trader and whatnot. So I really hope that you guys learned something from this. I did take a little bit longer than intended, but you know, we covered some decent stuff. Not too hard, pretty simple. Hope you guys were able to, you know, take something from this. I'm going to go ahead, sign off here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Later.